Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's difficulties as if you were on the verge of giving in to a world that constantly tests your strength? What if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that teaches exactly how to overcome any challenge while maintaining calm, clarity, and, most importantly, your inner peace? Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, offers the keys to mental resilience and unshakable strength that we all need but may not yet know how to access. Today, I'll show you how to transform your mind into a powerful fortress against any adversity. No matter what life throws your way, you can learn to respond with wisdom, acceptance, and self-mastery. The secret? Start seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. Now imagine if you could be immune to the emotional storms that usually knock us down. What if pain, instead of weakening you, could make you stronger, more centered, and more serene? Stoic philosophy doesn't promise a life without difficulties, but it provides the tools to maintain calm, focus, and emotional strength no matter what happens. In this video, you'll discover how to develop a resilient mindset that not only survives, but thrives in the face of life's greatest challenges. Let's unlock the hidden power of Stoic philosophy and discover how it can transform the way you face the world. Are you ready to begin this journey of self-mastery and overcoming? Then keep watching and see how you can truly become mentally unbeatable. What is mental resilience and how Stoicism can transform it? Mental resilience isn't just an abstract concept. It's the ability to stay calm and focused when life's storms approach. Picture your mind as a tree. It may sway in the wind, but its deep roots keep it steady. That's mental resilience. It's not about not feeling, but about knowing how to handle what comes your way. Stoicism, with its quiet wisdom, teaches us to cultivate those roots. Instead of impulsively reacting to what we can't control, Stoics invite us to reflect and adopt a serene stance in the face of challenges. True mental strength lies not in avoiding pain or discomfort, but in choosing how to respond to them. Stoics believe that true resilience is born when we accept what is beyond our control and focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our reactions, and above all, our attitudes. Instead of fighting life's storms, we can learn to dance with them. Stoic philosophy teaches us that adversity is an opportunity for growth. Pain, failure, loss, they are all disguised teachers that help us become stronger. When we decide to see challenges as opportunities for learning, we transform our mindset and enhance our mental resilience. But what exactly is the transformation of the mind? It's the ability to respond with wisdom when confronted with difficulties. In Stoicism, this is achieved through emotional control, constant reflection, and acceptance of life's natural laws. What does this mean in practice? It means that instead of being dominated by emotions like anger, fear, or frustration, you become capable of observing those feelings without being swept away by them. This ability to distance yourself from immediate reactions and think clearly in moments of crisis is true mental resilience. And Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-mastery, is the key to unlocking this inner power. How Stoicism helps face adversity without losing calm. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of an emotional storm, feeling like life's waves were about to swallow you? Adversity, like rain that falls without warning, often appears when we least expect it. But what sets resilient people apart from those who get lost in these turbulent moments is the ability to stay calm. Stoicism, with its profound wisdom, teaches us exactly this: to face challenges without being consumed by inner chaos. Stoics believe that the external world is beyond our control, but our response to it is entirely in our hands. So when adversities arise, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our mind, our emotions, and our actions. Imagine a warrior in the midst of a battlefield. The chaos around them is uncontrollable, but their mind remains serene, like a rock in a stormy sea. This isn't by chance, but a reflection of cultivated mental discipline. Adversity, instead of being seen as something to avoid, is viewed as an opportunity to strengthen emotional control. Stoics believe that in moments of crisis, we can choose how to react. There's no need to yell at the wind or fight the storm. Instead, inner calm becomes our most powerful weapon. In the modern world, where stress and anxiety surround us at every turn, this philosophy becomes not only relevant, but essential for maintaining our mental health. The practice of self-mastery, one of Stoicism's pillars, helps us remain unshaken in the face of adversity. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing feelings. Instead, it means learning to observe them clearly without letting them dictate our actions. True mental strength isn't about avoiding suffering, but understanding that we can be masters of our emotions, even when circumstances try to bring us down. By applying Stoicism in our daily lives, we learn to navigate difficulties with ease and wisdom, maintaining our inner peace no matter the chaos around us. The 3 Stoic principles that strengthen your mind to overcome any challenge. If there were a recipe for mental resilience, it would surely include 3 key ingredients, each more powerful than the last. Stoicism, a philosophy that spans centuries, offers exactly that. 3 fundamental principles that, when applied with discipline, can transform our minds and help us face any challenge. The first principle is to distinguish what we can control. In a chaotic world where so many factors are beyond our reach, Stoics teach us to focus our energy only on what we can change. You can't fight the wind, but you can adjust your sails. By focusing on our reactions and attitudes, we transform how we approach life. The second principle is accepting what we cannot control. Stoics understand that there are greater forces we cannot alter: the course of nature, the actions of others, life's unpredictability. The key here is to accept with serenity everything beyond our power. When we learn to accept reality as it is rather than fighting it, adversity loses its ability to weaken us. We become like trees that, instead of resisting storms, bend and adapt to the wind, keeping their roots firmly in the ground. This principle teaches us to live in harmony with what happens around us without losing our inner peace. The third principle is virtue as the highest good. For Stoics, true happiness doesn't come from what we possess or external circumstances, but from our ability to live with virtue. Virtue, in the Stoic context, means acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, regardless of the circumstances. This principle strengthens us mentally because it gives us an internal compass, a moral guide that directs us even in the most turbulent moments. When we act according to our values, our mind becomes more unbeatable, as we know we are aligned with what truly matters. These 3 principles, controlling what we can, accepting what we cannot, and living with virtue, form the foundation of a resilient mindset. They make us stronger, more focused, and better prepared for any challenge life brings. By applying them in our daily lives, we begin to realize that our true strength doesn't come from what happens to us, but from how we choose to respond to it. But as these principles start to shape our minds, a crucial question arises. How exactly can we apply self-mastery in moments of crisis? How do we turn these teachings into real, immediate practice? The answer lies in the next Stoic principle. The art of self-mastery. How Stoicism teaches emotional control in moments of crisis. When the world seems to collapse around us, the tendency is to react impulsively. Anger flares up like a flame, fear paralyzes, and anxiety takes over. In these moments, the art of self-mastery reveals itself as an essential skill. Stoicism, with its practical wisdom, teaches us that, contrary to what many believe, we cannot control external situations, but we can control our emotions in response to them. Picture yourself as a river and your emotions as the waters flowing through it. The secret isn't in stopping the flow of water, but in learning to guide it calmly and serenely, even amid the current. Stoicism teaches us that in moments of crisis, The immediate emotional response isn't always the best response. In fact, it often prevents us from acting with clarity and reason. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius remind us that it's not the things that happen to us that disturb us, but our opinions about them. By focusing on our interpretation of situations and reflecting before reacting, we gain control over our minds. This takes practice, of course, but the reward is immeasurable. Self-mastery becomes a powerful tool that not only helps us handle crises, but also enables us to make wiser, more balanced decisions. The key here isn't to suppress emotions, but to observe them from a distance, understanding their origins and letting them pass without dominating us. Practicing self-mastery doesn't happen overnight. It requires a journey of self-awareness and discipline. By embracing Stoic philosophy, we learn to observe our reactions, identify recurring emotional patterns, and adopt habits that help us keep our minds calm, even when life's storms are at their peak. Simple techniques, like conscious breathing, practicing emotional detachment, and reflecting on what is within our control, are powerful tools that Stoics applied in their lives. When you manage to step back and respond with calm and rationality, the crisis loses its power over you. This is what it means to have an unbeatable mind. How to transform pain into strength, Stoicism, and overcoming personal challenges. Pain, whether physical or emotional, has transformative power, but we often refuse to see it that way. The human tendency is to flee from suffering, to avoid pain at all costs. But Stoicism teaches us a profound lesson. Pain is not the enemy. It's a disguised teacher. Imagine pain as the fire that melts metal, purifying it and giving it shape. It's through pain that we forge our true inner strength. When we face personal challenges head-on, without fear of feeling or suffering, we discover the depth of our mental resilience. Adversity doesn't have to destroy us. It can, in fact, shape us into something stronger, wiser, and more unbeatable. For Stoics, pain isn't an obstacle, but an opportunity for growth. This may sound counterintuitive in a world where we seek to avoid discomfort, but Stoic wisdom invites us to embrace pain as an essential part of the human experience. When we face pain with courage and determination, it no longer weakens us. It strengthens us. It's like a muscle that grows stronger as it's exercised. Overcoming personal challenges, then, is a continuous process of transformation, where each moment of pain is a chance to develop an unbreakable mind. When we don't let difficulties defeat us but seek the lessons in them, we elevate ourselves to a new level of understanding and strength. Stoicism teaches us that suffering is inevitable, but our response to it is entirely our own. The practice of self-mastery, acceptance of pain, and reflection on its nature help us find strength in moments that, at first glance, seem to be our greatest enemies. When we go through a personal crisis, be it a loss, a disappointment, or a failure, we have two choices. We can let the pain consume us, or we can use it as fuel for our growth. The Stoic sees every challenge not as a defeat, but as a chance to practice virtue and become stronger. By transforming pain into strength, we not only overcome the challenge, but transcend it, unlocking the power of the Stoic mind for resilience and inner peace. The human mind is a vast, complex field where thoughts, feelings, and emotions intertwine like an invisible web. Often we feel as if we're being pulled by these threads, as if the mind is out of control. But what if you could learn to take the reins of that mind, to use it as an ally instead of an enemy? Stoic philosophy offers the keys to unlocking this inner power, teaching us to cultivate a calm, resilient, and focused mind. Stoics knew that to achieve true inner peace, we must go beyond external chaos and seek serenity in mastering our own minds. It's not about controlling what happens around us, but about learning to control how we respond to it. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea that inner peace isn't something given to us, it's something we earn. To achieve it, we must train the mind, just as an athlete trains the body. By practicing self-mastery and accepting the events we cannot control, we begin to free the mind from the shackles of fear, anxiety, and anger. The mind becomes clearer, more centered, and peace begins to blossom from within. Stoics believe that true freedom lies in our ability to choose our attitude toward life's challenges. This isn't a denial of reality, but an affirmation of the power we have to shape our reactions, to decide how we experience situations. Unlocking the power of the Stoic mind is a daily practice. It's not something that happens overnight, but a constant process of mental training. This involves moments of introspection, inner silence, and the continuous practice of evaluating our thoughts and feelings. When we can look at the world around us with clarity, without being pulled by emotional tides, we achieve profound resilience. Inner peace doesn't mean the absence of difficulties, but the ability to remain calm amid chaos. By applying Stoicism, we can transform any challenge into an opportunity to strengthen our mind and soul, developing the resilience needed to face whatever comes next. Why accepting reality is the key to overcoming challenges with Stoic philosophy. Life rarely follows the path we imagine. Often we're surprised by situations that seem to pull us out of control. But what if, instead of resisting everything we can't change, we could simply accept reality as it is? Stoic philosophy teaches us that acceptance isn't passive surrender, but a powerful way to free ourselves from the pain caused by resistance. Reality, in its essence, is neither good nor bad. It simply is. By accepting it without judgment, we gain the strength to shape our response to it. It's as if by stopping the fight against the sea's waves, we could learn to swim with more fluidity and grace. Stoics believe that resisting reality is one of the greatest sources of suffering. The more we try to force things to happen according to our desires, the more frustrated we become when they don't follow our plan. Instead, they teach us to focus on what is within our reach, our attitude, our actions, and our choices. Accepting reality means recognizing that while we can't control everything around us, we can always control how we respond to it. This gives us a sense of power because by accepting circumstances, we can work more effectively to transform them or simply act in alignment with our values. Acceptance, as taught by Stoics, also helps us develop profound mental resilience. When we accept that life is unpredictable and that suffering is part of the human journey, we become better prepared to face whatever comes. Instead of being surprised by adversities, we start to see them as opportunities for growth. Accepting reality doesn't mean settling for mediocrity or injustice. It simply means acknowledging what is beyond our control and finding the strength to act with clarity and wisdom. This is the true power of acceptance, not resignation, but a conscious choice to live fully, even in the most challenging situations. How to stay calm amid chaos. The Stoic practice of mind control. In the midst of life's chaos, it's easy to lose ourselves, as if the storm is about to swallow us. But what if, instead of being swept away by these turbulent waves, we could learn to stay calm, like an island standing firm in a stormy sea? Stoicism offers the tools to do exactly that. Cultivate deep control over our minds. For Stoics, true strength doesn't lie in fighting external chaos, but in cultivating inner peace that allows us to act with clarity, even when the world around us seems to crumble. This is the power of mind control, a skill that requires practice, patience, and discipline. The Stoic practice of mind control begins with understanding that we cannot control the events that happen to us, but we can always control our reactions to them. The first step is cultivating emotional detachment, learning to observe our thoughts and feelings without letting them dominate us. In moments of crisis, it's easy to react with anger or fear, but Stoics teach us to pause before acting, to reflect before responding. This gap between stimulus and reaction is where our true power lies. When we manage to create this pause, even if brief, we can decide how we want to respond, rather than being dominated by the intensity of emotion. This ability to stay calm in chaos is like a muscle that needs training. With every challenge, every stressful situation, we have the opportunity to practice this art of self-mastery. And it's not about being cold or unfeeling, but about learning to act with wisdom, even under pressure. A classic example is Marcus Aurelius, who, as emperor, faced countless adversities from battles to betrayals. Yet he always maintained a serene and reflective stance. By applying the Stoic practice of mind control, we not only respond better to challenging situations, but also cultivate lasting resilience. The power of inner silence. How Stoicism teaches you to listen to your mind amid turmoil. In a world that never stops, where external voices and incessant thoughts seem to dominate our attention, finding inner silence becomes a true challenge. Yet this silence is not just a break from noise, but a profound source of power. Stoicism teaches us that, amid life's turmoil, true strength lies in being able to listen to our own minds. This inner silence is the foundation upon which we build mental resilience. Picture the mind as a calm lake, where even if the wind blows fiercely, the water's surface remains still and clear. This is the kind of control Stoics invite us to cultivate, a state of inner serenity where we can observe thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. The practice of inner silence doesn't mean ignoring emotions or life's challenges. On the contrary, it's about learning to pause, breathe, and listen. When we allow ourselves a moment of silence, we can distinguish which thoughts deserve our attention and which we should let pass. In the midst of chaos, the mind tends to stir, creating a storm of thoughts and feelings. However, Stoics teach us that by turning our attention to our center, that quiet place within us, we can find clarity, discernment, and control. This silence is the space where decisions are made with wisdom, not impulsively. Cultivating inner silence is a daily practice. Stoics encourage us to dedicate time to reflection, to moments of introspection, so we can hear our own inner voices. This can be done through practices like meditation, reflective writing, or simply pausing to breathe deeply. When we access this state of deep calm, our mind becomes more powerful, as we can see reality more objectively. The external chaos loses its grip on us, and inner peace becomes our guide. This is the power of inner silence, the true mental strength that allows us to face life's challenges with unbeatable clarity and wisdom. Stoic philosophy as the path to becoming mentally unbeatable in any situation. Life is rarely a smooth path, and if there's one thing we can be certain of, it's that it will be full of challenges, twists, and unexpected moments. But what would make you feel unbeatable in the face of it all? Stoic philosophy is the secret to cultivating a mind capable of facing any storm without losing strength or focus. It teaches us that true invincibility doesn't come from the absence of difficulties, but from the ability to maintain serenity, clarity, and emotional resilience, no matter what happens around us. Stoics believed that the secret to overcoming any challenge lay in mastering the mind. And this is, without a doubt, the path to becoming mentally unbeatable. When we apply Stoic principles, we learn to see adversity differently. Instead of viewing it as an obstacle, we see it as an opportunity for growth. Every difficulty, every challenge life throws at us is a chance to test our inner strength, exercise our resilience, and refine our ability to handle discomfort. Stoic philosophy doesn't promise a life without pain, but equips us with the tools to deal with it wisely and calmly. Over time, as we practice Stoic teachings, our mind becomes stronger, more centered, and more unbeatable. We become like rocks, unshaken by life's waves, because we've learned to see every challenge as part of our growth process. The path to mental invincibility, according to Stoics, involves the continuous practice of virtue, acceptance, and self-mastery. Each day is a new opportunity to apply Stoic teachings, controlling emotional reactions, accepting what we cannot change, and focusing on acting with virtue and wisdom. No matter what life puts in our path, we know that within us lies the power to stay calm and act with clarity. By following the Stoic path, we become mentally unbeatable, capable of facing any situation with strength and inner peace. And so, life, with all its challenges, ceases to be a threat and becomes a journey of continuous, transformative growth. We've reached the end of this journey, but the real transformation begins now, with you. Stoicism is not just a philosophy of life. It's a daily practice, a powerful tool that can shape your mind and help you become unbeatable in the face of any challenge. By embracing Stoic principles, you not only become more resilient, but also learn to live with an inner peace that nothing can shake. The question now is, will you apply this power to your life? Will you turn chaos into clarity, pain into strength, and challenges into opportunities for growth? The change starts with a simple decision: to react to what happens around you with wisdom and self-mastery. I want to know, what was the most powerful lesson you learned today? Leave a comment below and share with me how Stoicism can transform your life. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue the journey of self-mastery. Oh, and if you want more content to help you apply these ideas in your daily life, click the link in the pinned comment below. There you'll find an amazing ebook to deepen your practice. Let's build an unbreakable mind together.